Redragon K673 Pro. This 75% wireless warrior brings gasket mounting and hot-swappable switches to the table for just $64, making it feel like someone accidentally put a premium sticker on a budget board. The build quality is surprisingly solid with minimal flex, though some users report the occasional sticky key that makes you question if your morning coffee spilled into the switches. With its volume knob, RGB lighting, and triple connection modes, this little beast punches way above its weight class, even if the quality control occasionally takes a coffee break. 7 out of 10. Glorious GMMK 65%. The GMMK2 delivers enthusiast-level modularity without requiring you to sell a kidney, packing hot-swappable switches and pre-lubed stabilizers that make customization as easy as changing your socks. Those glorious Fox switches come factory-lubed and ready to rumble, lasting 19 million keystrokes before they retire to keyboard heaven. The compact 65% layout keeps your desk tidy, while the tray mount design and foam dampening create a typing experience that would make your old membrane keyboard weep with envy. 8 out of 10. AULA F75. This budget darling has become the poster child for punching above your weight class, delivering a deep, satisfying thock sound that rivals keyboards twice its price thanks to its 5-layer dampening system. The pre-lubed switches feel smooth as butter, while the 75% layout with volume knob gives you just enough keys without hogging your entire desk like a greedy house guest. Sure, the software is about as exciting as watching paint dry, and the volume knob feels cheaper than gas station sushi. But when you are getting custom keyboard vibes for pocket change, who is really complaining? 8 out of 10. Keychron V1. This board brings you mechanical joy with a build so solid it could double as a medieval weapon, plus typing that feels smoother than your best one-liners at a party. The hot-swappable design means you can swap switches faster than you swap streaming shows, but do not expect wireless freedom. You are leashed by a cable like a dog on a walk. If wired only does not make you twitch, this might just be the best $100 ticket into custom keyboard heaven. 8 out of 10. HK Gaming GK61. If your wallet is basically on a diet, the GK61 lets you taste mechanical speed without financial indigestion. Lightning-fast optical switches and cozy comfort wrapped in a tiny 60% tray. Modders will nerd out over hot-swappable switches and swappable keycaps, but its ABS keycaps and plasticky feel make it slightly less fancy than it pretends to be. For the price, it is a cheeky little monster. Just do not expect luxury, unless your idea of luxury is, well, RGB. 7 out of 10. SteelSeries Apex 3 RGB. It has gaming in the name, but behind all the rainbow lights lurk rubber dome switches that feel mushy and slow, making competitive typing feel like you are fighting molasses uphill. The build is sturdy, and the wrist rest is comfy, but the key feedback is as distinct as a marshmallow pancake, with latency that could have you gaming in the past. If price is king, and you are allergic to clicky keys, give it a shot. But true mechanical gamers should look elsewhere for thock and awe. 4 out of 10. Corsair K70 Core RGB. The Corsair K70 Core throws down smooth linear switches, a solid aluminum top, and snazzy RGB lights for a price tag that does not require you to eat instant noodles for a month. But that bargain buffet comes with sweaty wrist rests and a cable that is about as detachable as your sense of dignity in ranked matches. Still, the typing feels so buttery, the RGB so blinding, and for just under $100, this is a mechanical marvel that puts premium boards to shame. 8 out of 10. Logitech G Pro TKL. The Logitech G Pro TKL wants to be the sports car of keyboards. Fast magnetic switches, customization galore, and a design so minimal your cable management will feel exposed. However, the price tag is turbocharged at almost $170, and you can kiss wireless goodbye because this bad boy is strictly old-school wired. It is slick and snappy for competitive play, but at this price, your wallet might want to retire from esports before you win big. 6 out of 10. HyperX Alloy Origins Core. HyperX battles into budget glory with a rock-solid aluminum case and compact, tenkulous charm, which means your desk finally has room for snacks, with bright RGB lighting to guide midnight raids. Out-of-the-box keycaps, though, are so shiny and slippery, you might think HyperX wants you to play slip and slide instead of shooters, and swapping cables is more picky than a toddler at dinner. Yet for $70 or less and a quick keycap upgrade, this board goes from budget hero to something that can embarrass $150 rivals. 7 out of 10. Keychron V5 Max. Keychron tries to make wallets and fingers happy with a mechanical keyboard that feels way fancier than its price. Think wireless magic, springy typing, and enough RGB to light up your guilt for skipping homework. The keys are satisfyingly thocky, switching between Jupiter Browns and Super Bananas. Yes, that is what they're called. Offering a setup that's just as solid for gaming as it is for showing off spreadsheets at work. Still, the lack of see-through legends means you will be guessing at keys in the dark. But when a $99 board ticks almost every box, who needs to see anyway? 8 out of 10. TECWARE Phantom Plus Elite. TECWARE Phantom Plus Elite is that sturdy budget king, built like a tank with hot-swappable Automu switches and a rigid metal plate, so you can rage quit in style and swap your switches before your next comeback. The lighting effects are fast, it has real N-key rollover, and even a calculator shortcut in case you want to math while you frag, but those ABS keycaps could get shiny enough to let you check your reflection mid-game. If you are willing to forgive a questionable font and keycap longevity, this keyboard slaps for under 60 pounds. 7 out of 10. Cooler Master SK620. Cooler Master SK620 is the compact ninja in this lineup, cutting out all but the essentials. So much so, you may need a treasure map to find the right keys if you are new to 60% layouts. The low-profile switches are speedy, the response is sharp, and it plays nice between work calls and gaming fails. But longer use might leave your fingers cramped and your brain screaming, "Where's escape?" Compact and reliable, but only for those willing to train in the ways of the tiny keyboard dojo. 6 out of 10. Logitech G413 SE. Forget RGB rainbows. This minimalist slab delivers only white illumination, like a mechanical vampire shying away from the disco. The tactile switches slap down key presses with the enthusiasm of a bored intern, lacking crisp feedback and leaving your fingers wondering if they're typing or just poking a stubborn marshmallow. The build is sturdy, and the price is sweet, but feature trims and mushy key feel make it hard to hype up, unless you really just want bare minimum gaming on a budget. 5 out of 10. Logitech K45. If you crave mechanical magic in the office, but gaming is just a hobby, this keyboard is your gray-suited backlit soulmate. Simple looks, solid build, no surprises. The typing experience is satisfying, like cracking open bubble wrap, but the gaming side is as vanilla as it gets. Higher latency and no custom keys mean competitive gamers will yawn. At least the price is chill, if you do not mind the dull keys and occasional wobbly spacebar, but serious gamers should swipe left. 6 out of 10. Keychron C1 Pro. Who said budget keyboards cannot feel premium? The C1 Pro throws on PBT keycaps and an old-school look with a snazzy RGB twist, plus smooth switches that make typing and casual gaming a treat. Gaming feels snappy, the build quality is beefy, and it even lets you play DJ with the lighting settings, though software magic is hit or miss, and there is no wrist rest for marathon sessions. For the money, this thing punches up, making budget feel like a win. Almost as comfy as your favorite pajama pants. 8 out of 10. Keychron K8 Pro. This board walks into your gaming setup with the confidence of an aluminum bulldozer, flexing hot-swappable switches and bright RGB that scream gamer life. But the cable is so short it feels like Keychron wants you glued to your desk forever. Typing is smooth and satisfying, and latency is quick enough for even the sweatiest Valorant match, although you will miss that shine-through if you fancy glowing keycaps. For the price, it's a hardcore deal, but a little rough around the edges if you crave full customization without tinkering. 7 out of 10. Cooler Master MK is strutting around in pastel macaron colors like an Easter egg hunt gone wild. This keyboard's gasket mount and Kale Box V2 switches feel so good your fingers will want to send it a thank you card. But watch out, the software might crash more than your old gaming rig. With tri-mode wireless and a volume knob for precision battle sound, it stays impressively quiet even if your rage does not, making it the perfect budget board for gamers with style. All this comfort and connectivity come under $120, which makes other boards green with envy. 9 out of 10. NuFi Air 60 V2. If you love living out of airports, this keyboard practically packs itself, keeping you gaming on your phone, tablet, or laptop with slick, low-profile keys and wireless that zip around like Wi-Fi in a coffee shop. But good luck if you want a classic function row, because NuFi kept the layout lean. Typing on those Gateron switches is more satisfying than surprising a boss in stealth mode, but the learning curve for the keycaps is real, and the price is a little spicy for those of us with ramen budgets. Compact, stylish, and super portable, but loses points for being fussy and pricey. 6 out of 10. IPA Maker HE80. This thing rolls in with ultra-responsive Hall effect switches and a gasket mount design that feels so plush, you might actually start enjoying typing up your overdue homework. The actuation can be customized down to a ridiculous 0.02 of a millimeter, and it's so quiet and precise, people will wonder if you're gaming or just gently caressing your keyboard. Only downside, no wireless mode, so if you have a fear of cables, you're out of luck. 8 out of 10. Ajazz AK820 Pro. The Ajazz AK820 Pro throws premium features into the bargain bin. Hot-swappable switches, tri-mode wireless, and a TFT screen for when you want your keyboard to talk back. The RGB glows like it's auditioning for a rave, and the soft, bouncy typing feel makes every key press a mini celebration, but the TFT screen is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Still, for this price, it feels like you robbed a tech store and got away with it. 9 out of 10. Royal Kludge Arcade 7. This keyboard shows up looking sleek and ready to game. But after a honeymoon phase of smooth typing and clicky brown switches, some keys start ghosting you faster than your hinge matches. It is sturdy, compact, and the lighting is colorful enough to show you exactly where your regrets lie. But don't expect hot-swappable freedom or completely consistent performance. 5 out of 10. RK Royal Kludge RK61. This tiny keyboard tries way too hard to be mini, packing all the gamer basics into a frame small enough to get lost under your mousepad. The hot-swappable switches mean you can mix and match your tactile dreams, but good luck programming those keys when the software decides to take a permanent vacation. Despite the suspiciously wobbly keys and wrist fatigue, the RK61 hustles for pocket change, but only passes the vibe check if you like your gaming with a side of frustration. 5 out of 10. AULA Win60 The AULA Win60. He is basically a budget magician, somehow stuffing fancy magnetic switches and customizable RGB into a keyboard that costs less than some in-game skins. Lightning-fast actuation and that crispy thock sound will make your fingers feel 5% cooler, plus its rapid trigger mode is smoother than your last FPS headshot. Not perfect, but for the price, the Win60, he brings so much heat. Even its firmware updater feels spicy. This one punches above its weight for broke gamers. 9 out of 10. Redragon K552 Kumara. The Redragon K552 Kumara is about as straightforward as its name. Built like a small tank with a crunchy blue switch click that might drive your roommates bonkers. The rainbow lighting looks ready for a rave, while its tough metal body survives any rage quit. But say goodbye to software tweaks and delicate adjustments. What you see is what you hammer. If you just want a mechanical monster that won't torpedo your wallet, this chunky champ does the trick. But don't expect wizardry. 7 out of 10. Razer Huntsman Mini. This tiny dynamo packs blazing fast optical switches into a body so compact you could accidentally launch it into orbit with a sneeze. While its clicky keys sing louder than your group chat notifications, the lack of arrow keys means you might be rage-quitting spreadsheets as often as games. The RGB lighting is delightfully extra, but the price punches above most budget picks. 6 out of 10. Epamaker MS68. This little keyboard hero boasts hot swappable switches and a sturdy aluminum case, making it feel weirdly luxurious for such a wallet-friendly price. Typing is buttery smooth, and the tactile feedback is so crisp you might start power writing apology letters to your old mushy keyboard. Customization options are endless, though the keycap legends can look a tad wild under that disco backlight. 8 out of 10. Ducky 12 Pro. With its legendary build quality and satisfyingly thick keycaps, this board feels ready for both gaming sessions and typing your magnum opus. However, it likes to keep things old school. No fancy software, no wireless, just reliable performance and classic looks you cannot ignore. But the price tag can nudge your budget over the edge, making you wish for a discount fairy. 7 out of 10. Razer Black Widow V3 TKL. The Razer Black Widow V3 TKL promises that classic mechanical snap, but trades some features for a slimmer price tag, so you get that green switch clack without totally emptying your pockets. If you love glowing keys and a sturdy, compact build, it is fun for late-night gaming marathons, but there are keyboards with more flair and fancy features creeping in at the same price these days. Great for fans of the green switch legacy, but with average value for budget hunters, kind of like ordering a burger and realizing there is no extra cheese. 6 out of 10.